During our trip to the Microsoft Flight Simulator Global Preview event, we spoke to 6 core members of the Asobo and Microsoft teams. You're going to find out all about the all-new weather engine, aerodynamics, immersive cockpits, and community engagement. So, firstly, I just want to say thank you ever so much for having myself and here to represent FSElite here at the new Flight Simulator. It's an absolute honour. I've loved every second of it so far, and even better, I get to talk to people as well, so that's really cool.
Thanks for coming.
So very quickly, I just wondered if you could very quickly just introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about what you do to the audience.
My name is Robert Jerauld. I am Director of Production. I work closely with the developers, Asobo and our internal team on the publishing side, in support of Jorg in the building of the franchise.
Fantastic, lovely to meet you.
My name is Jorg Neumann. I'm the project lead on the Microsoft side, so I oversee everything in the franchise. Work with Robert a lot, work with the developer a lot, plot the path forward. I mean, come up with the products we're doing, find the right partner, and then figure out what we're doing with it long term. Yeah.
So pretty much high overview, and you get to kind of see
Yeah.
how everything's moving.
Yeah.
So my first question really is, why now? Why is Microsoft coming back with Flight Simulator in such a big, bold way?
Yeah, I think it's a convergence of things that really made this happen. I think there's technology now in place that enables us to get a world that has never been able to be done before, like the entire world, everything, every place looks right. It's the right tools we need. In order to get all this to work, we needed tools like Bing and Azure to really get the data, like the 2 petabytes of data we have, to the people. And then it's the right partnerships. It's partnerships with manufacturers, it's partnerships with third-party developers that have been so critical to this genre, and kept it alive. And then also to the fans. We're listening, we want to engage with the fans, and we want to make the perfect product for them.
And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there with the fans and the third parties, because I personally think that's kind of what kept flight simulation alive for as long as it has been, in kind of the gap between FSX and where we are today. So I don't know how much you can talk about it right now, but in terms of third parties, what kind of relationships are you building with them to get them involved with the new flight sim?
So third party developers and specifically, I would say we have studied everything, and we then ask everybody to go, get into a conversation with us, and we have active phone calls pretty much every day with a third-party developer of one sort or another. We talk to the airplane folks, to the airport folks, to the scenery folks, to the live ATC folks, etc., etc., etc. And in the true spirit of partnership, we all said, look, we're here, we need you. We need you.
Okay.
That was an interesting edit. So we need them. And I think we provide an opportunity for them to continue to do their great work. And I think you'll see that going forward. We haven't announced anything, but very actively engaged now.
Excellent. And in terms of the community as well, you guys have been, from what I've seen in like the blog posts and stuff, you've been very active in keeping an eye on kind of forums and stuff. Why is that so important to the development of the sim?
There's a couple reasons. I think it's one, there's a big history with this franchise, and I think that it's important that to all of us on the team, I think it's important that we're accountable to the franchise and the people, the people that have been supporting it for so long, myself included. I think all of us have played Flight Sim at some point. And I think there's a desire to make sure that people understand there's more to Microsoft than what you see in advertisements like commercials, etc. Like there's a lot of people that really care. That's what Microsoft's full of, is a lot of people that really are passionate and care about products, and we often get the chance to work on something that we have a genuine passion for. And so I think that having that voice heard more, having a conversation with people is important, being transparent and being collaborative is really a direction Satya, I think, down is pushing, and we're definitely embracing, because we feel like it's the right way to, like, it kind of frees us to be able to interact more and to collaborate more with consumers. And in this specific genre, I think we owe it to the consumer to do that.
Yeah.
Because they've been here and been such a diehard support of the franchise and the genre for this long, that there's a lot of voices to be heard.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Satya calls it customer obsessed for all of Microsoft, and we've changed as a company. We are customer obsessed, and here in this particular genre, we have really, really dedicated customers, and it feels great working with them. It feels great listening to them and giving them what they want.
What I've personally found as well is the blog posts that have been coming out almost weekly since kind of early August have been kind of proof of that kind of concept of, we're listening to the community, we're kind of trying to get feedback, and I've personally loved reading about it and then obviously writing about it afterwards. And even the event like today, it's not just press people, you've got influencers, YouTubers, you've got such a range of people here. So what's it been like so far? I know it was only halfway through the first day for you guys, but how have you felt about kind of the feedback you've received from everyone here today?
So I'm going to answer the first part of your question and then let Jorg answer the today part. The forum stuff for me specifically, and we spent a lot of time in there, I do a lot of looking around on the internet, and I have since it's been started, right? And it seems like a one-directional conversation we get ourselves into, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, whatever, right? We're all just kind of throwing our thoughts out there. But that takes time, So every person who goes and posts something on the forum about what they think about one of our screenshots or one of our movies or one of our trailers or in-game footage, etc., that takes time. Somebody took time out of their day to do something, to post this, to post that. And I think it's our goal to make sure that person's heard. Probably can't do it for everybody, but we're going to try. And I think the theme is if people feel like we are being transparent and we are being collaborative and we are following through on the commitments that we're making with people and the conversations they're having, and then we're reflecting that in our posts and in the way in which we try to provide information to the best of our ability, that person thinks, oh my gosh, they're posting a picture of weeds. Then I think we've accomplished that because it is, we're not here if not for them, I think, in a very indirect way. We're not here if people don't really care. And I think it's important that we reflect that because we do care. And so I've been really excited and really happy that there are people on the forum and people around that get that tone, because I think there's still work to be done. But I like the relationship.
I felt that personally as well, that connection, and from the posts themselves you can tell there's people like chatter and stuff, and then you kind of addressed it the following week in like a little snippet and stuff. That's
great.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, feedback today, I would say I feel a lot of enthusiasm. And what I really liked about it, we had some Q&As and people asked for things, and when you say, well, we can't commit to it yet, but we heard you and we're going to do it. And we don't know exactly when we're going to do it, but we're going to do it and we're going to do it right. And then everybody says, yes. Because that's the right answer. It's not just cramming a bunch of features into a title and then giving them, and worse, not even getting them done well. So we are here to stay. We are here for the long haul. We are all when we started this. I looked at everybody when we started and said, by the way, this is 10 years. Are you in? And we're all like, yup, we're in. And so we take a very long-term view of this. Like, do we need helicopters day one? Well, not if we can't get them right.
So this really is a long-term commitment.
We all have committed long-term.
That's really encouraging to hear, I think, and I think the community is going to absolutely love that kind of information as well.
Yeah, and I hope what they hear from it also, from all of us at Asobo and Microsoft, is that this is kind of the dawn of a new generation of flight sim for us, for Microsoft Flight Sim. And we don't I'll never have this opportunity to do this again in my lifetime unless we figure out some way to live for 200 years. And I think it's one thing to work on it, to do it on a daily basis. It's another thing to be part of the conversation that contributes to the development of it. And I do hope that there are people in the community that when this launches, and we all understand when we launch, this is our first step together, right? This isn't the end of the road, it's the beginning.
Yeah.
That they feel part of that. And if people can say, like, this was my, this was something that is very close to me and I have an attachment to because I feel like I'm part of this, then we've done our job. It's more about launching the game and more about launching it together and going on this adventure together. And I hope that comes at the end of it all.
One of my favourite things about Flight Simulator was always the tagline, as real as it gets. do you think Flight Sim 2020 is going to be as real as it gets?
It's as real as it gets right now. The fascinating thing about it is that it's always evolving. Like the thing I'm just fascinated by, the whole planet is getting scanned, and when we research that, we see all the things that are available now. Like we can have live traffic from cars. We can detect where every rhino on Earth is. Anything exists. So I think it's as real as it gets right this moment, and we can keep, as the world gets more scanned and more data becomes available, we will use it.
Can I also tag on something to what he's saying?
Yeah, of course.
Because I think what he's saying is exactly right. I'd also like to say, like, we do a lot of looking at competition. And there are a lot of people that create content that is amazing.
Yeah.
That we have a tremendous amount of respect for. Because they spend thousands and thousands of hours getting the cockpit of a plane perfect. Those people deserve a lot of credit.
Mm.
What we're saying when we say as real as it gets is exactly what Jorg is saying, which is we're going to do our best to give you the real world as accurately as we can from the get-go. And that is not meant to be a, hey, we're going to come out and give you the study level very best of the very best, because what we're optimizing for is realism first and quality second, and they're very close to each other. But I think there is room in this world for people who put this amount of energy and hours into it. This is not meant to be anything that is to take away from what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because
This is not us. This is not just us. We make not just a product, we make a platform. There are people, Robert has it exactly right, I love that you said that. We know of people that worked on a single plane for 8 years, and it's amazing. It is amazing. We want that plane in the sim. That is part of as real as it gets. We can do our part. We can make the world shiny and get butterflies to fly over the fields. We can do that. But some of these people have dedicated their life to a single plane.
Yeah.
And I think that's great, and we will embrace that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Listen, I really would love to keep talking to you guys.
No, go enjoy
forever,
it.
but
Yeah, go.
I have to head off.
In the skies.
In the actual sky.
In the skies.
So, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's been an absolute pleasure.